Good morning, everybody. This here is the reason we went to Oklahoma City yesterday, or day before yesterday it was. Got it home and the alternator on the APU is making lots of racket, so I have to deal with that. Also fired up the bunk heater last night and it was boiling out all kinds of smoke and everything, so gonna go ahead and rebuild that too while we got it here in the shop. And I'm waiting on paperwork to come in so we can register it. But while we're sitting here, I'll go ahead and tell you all a little bit about it. It is a 2022 389, has a 565 Cummins in it, 1850, Low Pro 24 wheels and tires. It has disc brakes in the front, drum in the back. It's just spring right on the front. It does have platinum interior, but it's got rubber floor mats and national seats, but it's got these little hokey inserts in it. So that means it's a platinum, but 115,000 miles on it. Got a spotlight, single bunk, which is good for weight. Still haven't weighed it yet. I know it's gonna be too heavy really, so I'm probably gonna have to put shutoffs on the tank so I can just run off of one tank, which will be that tank over there. And this is the only Peterbilt I've ever seen in my whole entire life that has one fuel gauge, and it's on this fuel tank. I have never seen one without a gauge for each tank, but this one only has a gauge for one tank, and it's a left tank, and that's not the tank I plan on using because the APU is on the other tank. So, and then with it being the dead of winter, I don't want to run around on a quarter tank all the time because I think that would make it easier to jail. Or well, we're heading into the dead of winter. It ain't here just yet, but I guess I'll be doing the old stick and flashlight method. But this is my truck right here, guys. I'll try to show y'all more about it as time goes on. But for right now, I have to get this alternator and belt off. First, I have to unhook the batteries, get the alternator and belt off. I need to adjust this right steering stop because it won't turn to the right to save its life. Also, the hood is out of adjustment. I'll show y'all that. This top left corner of the hood sits down about maybe a quarter to a half an inch lower than that, the right corner of the hood. And then it's causing this like little cut right there and this thing to fall off, which we had to replace that even before we left. And then if you look, you can see where the paint marks were, so that kind of makes sense. So I'm gonna loosen up these nuts, scoot it up with the paint marks, and see if that kind of helps it out any. And I think this truck may have gotten a trailer drug down inside and they didn't tell me about it. So that thing being off its paint marks gives me that idea. Also, this fender bracket right here is a little bit off kilter. So I think, and then these rivets right here are all, you know, new. And this is not a brand new truck, but those are brand new rivets. So I think this thing might have got a trailer taken across the front left corner or something to that sort. So anywho, let's get started on this stuff. I'll try to keep y'all updated as it unfolds. Okay, so status update here. We've got the alternator off and the compressor partially off. I was gonna change out the clutch, which is laying over there in a couple of pieces, but I broke off, well, I didn't break. I got that screw out fine. That screw started to strip, that screw started to strip. So I ended up drilling them out, and then I messed with it for just a few minutes trying to get them out, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna jack up that aluminum housing and everything. So, and this darn thing probably hadn't been replaced since day one. So, just gonna go ahead and replace it. Spare myself the headache. And that's where we're at. I had to, pardon my pile of boxes over here. I had this little pulley right here. You can pull her. See, the problem with it is it does not, it only flexes in one spot. So that's kind of challenging. So I went and got these 3-armed reversible ones and these 2-armed reversible ones. But since on these 3 arms, it's some assembly required, I'm gonna try my luck with these 2-armed ones, get this pulley off, and get it ready to go on the new alternator, which is in one of these boxes. Got a new compressor, alternator, and dryer, plus a belt, and also my bunk heater screwed up last night, so I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild that darn thing too. So, more fun stuff. But that's where we're at, so I'll let y'all know how she's coming along here shortly. All right, so we got the pulley off and on, new pulley's on. So I had to grab this thing back here by this thing in the back, which is really thin. So I wasn't very confident that that would work, but as you can tell, it worked. So yay, that's done. Let's go get this thing hung up on the APU. Hopefully we can get this truck turned out of here today. I really needed to go today, so because I still haven't test drove the other truck that we did, which was this one. Put a new splitter valve on it. I still gotta go test drive it, so running behind. Alrighty, so it is the following morning here, and we have a new compressor put on, new dryer, did the expansion valve in the sleeper. There's a new alternator down in there that you probably can't see. Now all we have left to do is get the case put on, back on the APU here, and get this thing outside, because we're done with it for the day, and we'll get it back in here tomorrow afternoon and start on the bunk heater. But as of right now, I've got to get this thing put back together and get it out of the shop, because we have a customer truck coming in to get an overhead ran on it. So that's what we're about to do, get this thing put back together and shove it outside. Got the case all put back together here. Looking good. Well, not really. It's kind of old and worn out, but whatever. We'll take it. So I figured while I was sitting here doing nothing, about to get this thing shoved outside here, listening to some George Jones on the radio, and I thought, well, hey, I'll just give you all the grand tour here. So, other than it smelling like a dirty sock that smokes cigarettes, it's a pretty nice truck. Here's the inside. Good national seats. Old top of the line. Oh, hey, my temp gun's laying in the chair. We're back there screwing with the bunk heater and stuff, so that's why that's there. Or the, yeah, APU stuff. And here's the dash. It's got full gauges and a screen, 18 speed, hey, there's a flashlight. Man, I've got all kinds of tools in here. CB radio, overhead stuff. I've got more cleaning out to do in here. I found the ashtray in the back's full of cigarettes, so I got to empty that out and then clean out from under the bed, which I'll do that whenever we get it back in here for the bunk heater, because right now I'm kind of pressed for time. Got a customer truck coming in here in just a minute. So here's the bunk, single bunk, wraparound cabinets and all that. No ice box, no business center, just closets and pretty, you know, plain Jane as far as the creature comforts are. There aren't many of them, but I do have a APU, or a inverter and an APU, which the APU is the thing I'm most concerned with. That's what I really like to have that, just in case I ever do a 34 on the road or what have you. You know, you can keep the truck comfortable at a minimal fuel cost. And yeah, this is it, guys. Hopefully this whole thing will be good to us and we can get down the road in it and go to making mucho money, hopefully. Well, as mucho money as we can make. But oh man, it's been so long since I've been in a Peterbilt, I don't even know how to run the darn things anymore. But yeah, I need to get over there and put up my tools and everything, but I thought, man, I'd rather come over here and talk about Peterbilts than run a grease rag. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I really don't have anything to say about it. All I've done is drove it from Oklahoma City to my house, so I'll let y'all know as it unfolds. But pretty nice truck. It's really a pretty truck, black with a red frame. I really like it. And now I'm just rambling endlessly. Still got a few things to do before it's ready Freddy to go to work. Gotta trim down the stacks and all that kind of stuff, but we'll get to that on Monday because this other truck has to come in here and get parked overnight to cool off, and so we can do the overhead on it tomorrow. Or well, I ain't doing the overhead. The mechanic's doing the overhead. I'm just probably gonna stand there and hand him tools. So anyways, that's where we're at, guys. This is the new truck. This will be 115. I should be in this truck for at least a couple of weeks until that other driver comes back. Then he'll probably get in it for a little while. But yeah, this is it. So we will catch you guys around. Thanks for watching. Here's a little shop update for you. We just got done running the overhead on this truck here. This is the truck. If y'all remember, a couple of years ago, I think I put on the video going to get a Peterbilt with my friends or something to that effect. Anyways, this is the truck that we went up there and got, and it's not my truck, but we just got done running the overhead on it, and waiting on Rob to get back with some parts because someone jacked up this bolt hole right here. Not us, but someone did. So we gotta helicoil it or retap it or something to get the doggone thingy-majig mounted back on there. So that's all we're waiting on. And then this one will go out the door, and we'll get mine in here. And well, first we got to test drive it because we got a ride height, possibly a ride height issue, and then we're going to rebuild the bug heater. But yep, that's what's going on. So try to remember to, I took a little picture of the valve train whenever we had it opened up. I'll try to remember to stick that in here. But anywho, this is it. Okay, long time no chit chat, but this is pretty much going to be just a bunch of clips and no particular order of what's been going on here at the shop. So the old salty shaker's back at it again, if you can believe that. It was loading up oil in the exhaust manifold, come in here to do some valve guide seals on it, and found that the rods and mains were trashed, and went ahead to do some rods and mains and figured out that we had a bent rod. So now we have to yank the head off of it and do all that fun stuff. And that's what's been going on with that, which is awesome. Not. But about got the head ready to come off rather, and we'll slap a new rod on number one and put a new head gasket, and hopefully it'll be ready Freddy. Then this truck right here, we are putting a radiator in it. It needs many things, but the owner only wants to do a radiator right now. So there's the radiator out of it. It was leaking down there on the lower right hand corner of the end tank. And then these nut zerts in here are stripped out. And then the coolant reservoir is so old and brittle that it come apart whenever we're trying to take it off. And stuck a couple new tires on it for him. Nothing too serious. So that's kind of what's been going on around here at the shop. Nothing too terribly exciting, but I made several little clips of repairs that we've been doing and everything, and really ain't got them put all together, so I figured I'd go ahead and do that today. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you guys around.